Hello and welcome to Lost Love Chronicles.
My girlfriend slept with her boss for a promotion and called it strategic. So I turned their little game into a full-blown corporate scandal. Now, they're begging. All right, here's how it started. Kira, 26, marketing wizard, Spotify playlist queen, and apparently a fan of corporate espionage, was my girlfriend. And me? I'm Trent, 27, chill guy. Not flashy. I drink my coffee black, hate networking, and think Excel is a dark art. But somehow Kira and we worked. We met at a friend's birthday party 3 years ago. She walked in like she owned the air. Loud laugh, big opinions, the kind of presence that made you move your drink to the side like, okay, she's the main event now. And then she asked for my number. Hey, you, she said, pointing at me across the room like I was a menu item. You look like you hate this party as much as I do. I did, but I liked her immediately. At the beginning, it was like someone hit the rom-com montage button. She'd make me playlists titled things like songs for people who secretly cry at Pixar movies. I'd cook dinner. Poorly, mind you, and she'd pretend to like it. We'd crash on the couch watching documentaries about things neither of us understood. At one point we watched one about mushrooms and had an existential crisis over truffles. We laughed a lot. Fought sometimes. Nothing dramatic. No plate throwing. Just intense debates about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. It does. She was wrong. Thing is, Kira was a planner. She made spreadsheets for vacations, had a 5-year plan taped inside her closet door, and a Pinterest board labeled Corner Office Mood, which was basically photos of leather chairs and women glaring out floor-to-ceiling windows holding espresso cups. You know, girl boss stuff. And I respected it. She worked hard. While I was sipping coffee in a hoodie, she was analyzing click-through rates and reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People at 7 a.m. She never pushed her ambition on me, just radiated it like some kind of caffeinated lighthouse. She worked at this high-end mass-knitting firm downtown. Super fancy. Glossy floors. Glass walls. The kind of place that gives you anxiety about your outfit before you even enter the lobby. I won't name it, but if you live in the city, you've seen their logo on a billboard with some celebrity pretending to like kombucha. Her boss? Mason. Mason was the kind of guy who probably practiced smirking in the mirror. Always smelled like imported disappointment. Think. Overpriced cologne. Tight shirts that screamed divorce twice, and hair slicked back like he'd been dipped in avocado oil. He gave off serious, I quote Jordan Peterson, unironically energy. You could just tell he thought he was the main character. Kira never really talked about Mason, just referred to him as intense or results-driven, which is corporate for micromanaging jerk with a Bluetooth headset permanently attached to his ear. I didn't press. He was her boss, not her brunch buddy. Whatever. She clearly didn't like him, and that was enough for me. Things were fine. Not Instagram couple fine, but real life fine. We had a routine. She worked late. I'd swing by and pick her up because apparently Uber's surge pricing is the devil. She'd collapse next to me on the couch while I was debugging some soul-sucking JavaScript mess or yelling at 12-year-olds on Apex. Then we'd share some gourmet cuisine, read, soggy fries and microwave nuggets, and trade complaints about our coworkers. She'd rant about her meetings. And then Mason said synergy again. Synergy, Trent. Like, what does that even mean? It's just a grown-up word for let's wing it with a PowerPoint. I'd nod, real serious. Yes, very tragic. Classic synergy situation. Basic stuff. Comfortable. Domestic in a way that made me weirdly happy. Then it started to change. Slowly. Like when your favorite hoodie starts shrinking in the wash and you keep pretending it's fine, even though it now fits like a crop top. It started when she was up for that big promotion. Senior analyst? Lead account wrangler? Head of strategy vibes? I don't know. It was a fancy title. Lots of syllables, the kind of role where people use words like leverage and KPIs without blinking. And she wanted it. Bad. She started pulling overnight shifts at the office like she was launching a Mars rover, not running ad campaigns for gluten-free toothpaste. Meal prepping? Gone. Walks after dinner? Dead. At first, I chalked it up to stress. Told her, hey, I'll handle the dishes, just focus on your career domination or whatever. Because that's what partners do, right? Support. Step up. Be the calm to her chaos. The peanut butter to her increasingly anxious jelly. Then she didn't get it. She came home that night like a hurricane in heels. Slammed the door so hard the upstairs neighbor's chihuahua had an existential crisis. Pacing back and forth like she was preparing for a courtroom monologue. You know what happened? She snapped. They gave it to Emily. Emily, who literally spends half her meetings complimenting people's LinkedIns. I just kind of stood there holding a fork like it might protect me. She sucks up to the right people and gets rewarded. That's it. Playing the damn game matters more than actual results. She wasn't sad. Not even close. She was furious. like the kind of mad that makes you delete Slack with your bare hands. Then she dropped a line that clung to my brain like mold on shower grout. I guess I need to stop being so damn ethical if I want to move up. I let out a chuckle. You know, the haha. You're obviously joking because you're a decent person kind. She didn't laugh. Things didn't get better after that. Her hours? Worse. Like I live in the office now levels. She kept talking about after-hour meetings and executive team projects and other vague nonsense that sounded made up, like when kids say they're doing homework, but they're really watching YouTube. I'd ask what she was working on, and she'd wave me off. Just internal stuff. Mason's big strategy rollout. You wouldn't really get it. Cool. Great. Always love when your girlfriend's job turns into Fight Club. I didn't push. Didn't want to seem clingy or suspicious. God forbid I interrupt an executive brainstorm. And then the bag. She walked in one evening with this sleek, black, designer handbag. The kind that looks like it comes with its own security detail. Just strutted in like it was totally normal to casually drop a Louis Vuitton on our IKEA couch. Whoa, I said. That new? It looks like it costs more than my car. She didn't even blink. Oh yeah? It was a bonus from work. A couple days after the bag situation, Kira came home with a gift certificate to some bougie spa downtown. The kind of place where the robes have monograms and the cucumber water judges you silently. She waved it in the air like it was a receipt from Walgreens. They're rewarding high performers, she said, real casual. Maybe that was true. Maybe they were just chucking spa days at people who could survive back-to-back Zoom meetings without throwing themselves out a window. But it felt off. Like, suspiciously mellow. See, Kira loved to brag when things went her way. That's not shade. That's just how she operated. She once posted about getting Employee of the Month with a caption longer than my thesis paper. But this? A luxury spa certificate? And she just kind of shrugged it off? Uh-huh. Right. Then came the phone weirdness. Now, let me be clear. Kira used to treat her phone like a third arm she didn't really need. It would be buzzing next to her, and she wouldn't even flinch. I could have replied to her mom, ordered pizza, and accidentally joined a cult with her phone, and she wouldn't have noticed. But suddenly, that thing was glued to her hand like it had state secrets. Always face down. Notifications magically turned off. She'd tap out messages with the precision of a bomb diffuser and lock the screen like someone was watching. One day I picked it up by accident. It buzzed right next to me on the couch, and I, being a functioning adult with 2 eyeballs, grabbed it thinking it was mine. Instantly, snatch. That's confidential, she snapped, hugging it to her chest like it contained the launch codes. Confidential? What was she, CIA now? Still, I didn't confront her. Not because I was scared or naive or some guy from a sad acoustic song. I just didn't want to be that boyfriend. The jealous one. The why don't you trust me guy who ends up on Reddit getting ratioed by strangers. If she was cheating, I figured the truth would come out eventually. And if she wasn't, then I'd just look like some insecure man-child who can't handle a successful woman getting spa facials and confidential Slack messages. So I waited, like an idiot, on the couch, with takeout and blind optimism. Because we were solid. Or had been. Real connection. Real history. We talked about stupid future stuff, like whose last name sounded better and whether we'd let our kids eat Lunchables. But somewhere between her late nights, vague excuses, and sudden obsession with designer accessories, something flipped in her brain. And me? I was just the guy on the couch watching it all slide sideways in slow motion, still hoping the ending would somehow magically work itself out. Like maybe she was just stressed. Or maybe strategy sessions really were intense and involved a lot of handbags. Anyway, it was a Tuesday. Just a boring, beige, regular night. I got home a little early, reheated some leftovers, probably something depressing like day-old pasta, and settled in like any emotionally stable guy who refuses to check the signs. Kira walked in, mumbled something about being exhausted, didn't even take off her shoes, and beelined straight for the shower like she was escaping a war zone. I'm on the couch, TV's on, something dumb playing, probably a true crime show about women who snap, ironic in hindsight. Her laptop's open on the coffee table. Like always. Probably forgot it was there. Or maybe she assumed I was too busy watching reality TV and pretending everything was fine. Then it happened. Ping. A little notification in the corner of her screen. Just a soft, innocent ding that could have been a calendar alert or a Slack message about synergizing synergy. But nope. Mason. Her boss. Mr. Midlife Crisis Cologne himself. The message read, "Can't wait for our next strategy session." And just like that, I froze. Not going to lie, I felt my face get hot. Like someone turned the thermostat to hellfire. And that weird heart-stomach freefall thing? Yeah, that. Like a roller coaster drop, but without the thrill. I sat there, staring at that one little line of text, like it had stood up, walked across the room, and punched me in the jaw. I knew right then, something was off. Not like she forgot our anniversary off. I mean really wrong. You know how your gut talks to you in emergencies? Mine was screaming, buddy, buckle up. Now, I'm not the jealous type. Never have been. I don't snoop through phones, I don't check browser history, I don't decode Instagram likes like a conspiracy theorist. I'm the if you don't trust each other, what's the point kind of guy. But that message, that kissy face emoji, at 9:48 p.m., when she just told me she had to stay late for a strategy session? Nah, that wasn't strategy. That wasn't work. That was whatever the opposite of synergy is. So yeah, I clicked. I clicked like my soul needed to know, and my fingers moved before my brain could say maybe don't. I opened her messages. I wish I hadn't. But also, thank God I did. No password. No encryption. No secret folder labeled taxes 2023 or don't look here, Trent. Just pure, unfiltered, raw stupidity sitting in the open like a neon sign saying, hey idiot, your girlfriend's cheating. They've been texting. A lot. Like, a lot. We're not talking ping me when the meeting starts messages. We're talking paragraphs. Novel-length crap. Sentences with adjectives. Flirty emojis. I saw photos. Hotel names. Times. Room numbers. It was basically an itinerary for an affair. And then I saw that message. You keep me happy. I'll make sure you get that senior analyst spot. Oh, okay. Cool. Nothing says corporate integrity like a little quid pro ho. And then she responded. You know I'm a team player winking face emoji. I actually said no effing way out loud. My voice cracked like puberty decided to stop by for a surprise encore. I kept scrolling. I don't know why. Some self-destructive instinct kicked in. I guess if you're gonna get stabbed, you might as well watch the knife go in. Dozens more texts. Her in outfits I'd never seen before. I mean, who wears a blazer with nothing underneath except betrayal and confidence? Conversations about being discreet during meetings. About acting professional while sneaking off after boardroom sessions. It was like watching a documentary called How to Nuke a Relationship in 4K Ultra HD. And the worst part? Mixed in with the filth were her texts to me. Bragging. Mason says I'm practically there. I think I've earned it twice over this week. Yeah, I'll bet you did. I didn't yell. Didn't throw her laptop out the window. Didn't even speak. I just sat there. Frozen. Like I was watching a stranger's life disintegrate, and somehow, it was mine. But one thing hit me clear, like a divine revelation wearing a necktie. I needed to do something. I wasn't going to be that guy. The one who loses it, starts screaming, and ends up getting gaslit into believing he's the problem. Nope. Not today. If I was going to go down, I was taking both of them with me. So I grabbed my phone. Made a burner Gmail. Something real subtle like anonymous report 2024@gmail.com. Classy. Then I started forwarding. 6 screenshots. The best of the worst. Texts. Photos. One where Mason literally ties her promotion to her discretion. I didn't go for vague or suggestive. I went straight for the throat. I made sure it was the kind of stuff that HR wouldn't just flag. They'd laminate it, frame it, and use it in annual harassment training. Nothing ambiguous. No wiggle room. Just straight up, undeniable, career-ending garbage. Of course, after forwarding the screenshots, I made sure to do some light digital cleanup. I went to her sent folder and deleted everything. Not just from her inbox, from the trash, too. Full-on mission, impossible mode. She wasn't going to know I'd seen a damn thing. If she ever figured it out, it wasn't going to be because I left breadcrumbs in her Gmail like an amateur. I barely slept that night. Just laid there, staring at the ceiling, while she snored next to me like a woman who didn't just turn our relationship into an Excel spreadsheet of betrayal. Every breath she took sounded like an insult. Like, oh, you get REM cycles now? Must be nice. But I wasn't going to play dumb. I wasn't going to flip a table and start yelling like a guest on a daytime talk show. I already had the proof. The burner Gmail. The receipts. All I needed now was her to admit it. I wanted her to explain it, to actually try to justify the absolute circus I had uncovered. I needed to see how deep this rabbit hole of professional delusion really went. So morning rolls around. She finally stirs and stretches like she's in a mattress commercial. What a lovely sleep in my betrayal cocoon. And I just say, calm as can be. You got anything to tell me? She blinks. Blinks like I just asked if we were out of almond milk. What? I sat up, cold as hell. Voice like a computer restarting in safe mode. I saw the messages. You and Mason. I know. Her face froze. For half a second, I thought maybe she'd break. Maybe she'd say sorry or burst into tears or at least look guilty like a human being. But no, it was like flipping a switch. She went from oh my god to actually, I'm the CEO of this situation in under 3 seconds. Smug. Not sorry. Smug. Like I had just found out she was planning a surprise party, not screwing her boss in mid-tier hotel rooms off the highway. She sat up and wrapped the blanket around herself like she was the wrong party in a Victorian drama. And then, oh boy, She dropped the most unhinged TED Talk in corporate ethics I've ever heard. Okay, look, before you flip out, just let me explain. Oh, by all means, Queen of Strategic Infidelity, the floor is yours. I didn't say a word, just stared, gave her the silence of 1,000 judgmental ancestors. She took that as a green light. This wasn't, like, cheating for fun or whatever. It wasn't some emotional thing. It was a decision. A smart one. A move. A power play. This is how ambitious people succeed. I tilted my head, not in confusion, but in that "what species are you again" kind of way. Because surely she wasn't saying this with a straight face. But oh, she was. And she was just getting started. You remember when I didn't get that promotion and I told you I needed to start playing the game? Well, I did. I stepped up. I did what I had to do. I blinked. You slept with your boss. Flat. Just facts. No spice. No drama. Like I was confirming the weather forecast. She didn't even flinch. Yes, but I did it for us, Trent. You don't get it. I made a sacrifice to push us forward. I laughed out loud. Not the kind of laugh you share over a funny meme. No, this was the kind of laugh that escapes involuntarily when you watch your whole reality crumble like a stale croissant. One of those dry, cracked laughs that comes from sheer disbelief and just enough emotional dehydration to make your throat sound like sandpaper. She didn't even flinch. No shame. No pause. Just, seriously, you're overreacting. Like I caught her overcooking dinner. Not detonating 3 years of trust like a corporate-sponsored grenade. Mason's not just some guy, she continued, all calm and self-satisfied, like she was unveiling a surprise birthday plan. He has pull. Real connections. He's helping me break into circles I'd never reach otherwise. Oh, well, when you put it that way, yes, of course, sleeping with your boss was just networking with extra steps. Once I'm promoted, she said, we can finally get out of this apartment. Better place, better life. She said that like she just donated a kidney. No, really, the tone was exactly like, I know it hurt, but I did it to save you. And I'm just sitting there thinking, ma'am, you didn't sacrifice your body for science. You just turned our relationship into a Kickstarter for your corner office. That Japan trip you always talk about, she added, her eyes lighting up like I'd be stupid not to thank her. Totally doable now. This was an investment. For both of us. Right. Like banging her boss was her version of setting up a joint savings account. It's not infidelity, Trent. It's wealth management. Then she shifted into full TED Talk mode, posture straight, chin up, and confidence powered by delusion. Do you even understand what it's like for women in corporate? Oh boy, here we go. Working overtime isn't enough. I'm just being real about the system. Strategic. That's how people win. Strategic. Of course. Her favorite word, like it came engraved on her business cards. Like morality was an optional checkbox you could skip as long as your PowerPoint had enough slides and an animated pie chart. I'm not some intern begging for chances. I went out and earned mine. Earned. Yep, that's what we're calling it now. You didn't even think to tell me. I said, still trying to comprehend how I was now the unreasonable one. You knew exactly what this was and hid it. And now you're acting like it was noble. She rolled her eyes. Legit rolled them. Like I just asked her to walk a mile in flats. Because I knew you'd react like this. All sensitive and dramatic. Like I cheated on you for some flirty attention. It wasn't about that. Oh, well, thank God. It wasn't about the attention. It was just about the promotion. That makes it so much better. You just don't get how the real world works. Right. Because in her version of the real world, betrayal earns you air miles and a raise. No apology. No guilt. Just that condescending tone like I was some broke idiot clinging to outdated ideas like trust and fidelity. You always talk about wanting us to grow together, she added, like she was reading off a vision board hanging in her HR-approved yoga nook. Well, this was growth. I made the hard choice for our future. I took action. I shouldn't be punished for thinking big. She paused. I swear she was waiting for applause. Maybe a slow clap. I shook my head deadpan. You didn't grow. You sold out. You threw away everything we built because your ego couldn't handle being second to someone who worked harder than you. She crossed her arms and huffed like a toddler who just found out nap time was real. You're acting like I didn't try, she snapped. I did. For years. But I got tired of playing it straight while people with less talent passed me by. Right. Because hard work is for peasants. Instead of losing it, I kept my voice flat and said, you bent over and called it leadership. That landed. She flinched. First time she actually looked unsure, like maybe the mirror was finally reflecting something other than delusion. Then came the classic name drop. Mason literally said I'm being fast-tracked into strategy meetings. Exec here. This is how people move forward in competitive industries. It's not like I fell in love with the guy. I gave her a long, slow look. One of those blink once, pray for strength kind of looks. Oh, so that makes it better. You threw our relationship in the trash for a LinkedIn headline and a good job from some sleazy VP, and you're proud of it. She stood up like she was about to reclaim her dignity, adjusted her silk robe like it wasn't already soaked in betrayal and 2% spandex. You keep acting like I did this to be malicious, she argued, voice shaky but still running on fumes of self-justification. I did it to build something. I was thinking long-term. No, I said, standing too, you were thinking shortcut. You didn't want to earn it. You wanted to be handed it. You didn't build anything. You just broke what we had and called it ambition. She froze. Lips parted like she couldn't decide whether to cry, scream, or spontaneously combust into victimhood. No angle. No pitch deck. Just raw silence. You're not bold, Kira. I told her, shaking my head. You're just fake smart with no morals. You gambled your career, your reputation, and us for a half-assed chance at a title. And now what? You want me to thank you? Still nothing. Her eyes darted, scanning the room like maybe somewhere someone would give her a TED Talk invite. You're not strategic, I added. You're reckless. And now, you're just alone. She blinked, not because she understood, but because no one had ever slapped her with that much honesty without a polite preamble or a cappuccino in hand. I didn't wait for whatever weak, last-ditch monologue was brewing behind those lips. I walked out to the living room, sat down on the couch, opened my laptop. That email was still sitting in drafts. Screenshots, dates, receipts, beautifully sorted into bullet points like a PowerPoint from hell. Addressed to Mason's wife. I hovered for 1 second, just enough for petty dramatic effect, and then I hit send. From behind me, Kira shouted like we were on stage at a community theater performance of How Dare You. You're really going to throw away everything over one mistake. I didn't even turn around. Just stared at the laptop screen like it was the credits of a documentary I directed. You already did. She made some other noise, part scream, part pitch, part Hail Mary, but I'd already tuned it out. I walked back to the couch like I was returning from commercial break. Opened my laptop again. That email with the screenshots? Still gone. Flying through cyberspace like a homing missile made of righteous indignation and 4G. So yeah, that's it. No confetti. No dramatic music. No FBI-level tech wizardry. Just one click, and all of Kira's carefully curated empire started ticking like a time bomb with a Gucci strap. The screenshots, the dirty texts, her bragging about team spirit, while Mason promised her promotions between eggplant emojis and hotel bookings. Oh, it was all there. Gift wrapped in one neat little you played yourself package and dropped straight into the inbox of the only woman who had more reason to be pissed than I did. Mason's wife. Subject line? Simple. I thought you should see this. No clickbait. No emotional preamble. Just the raw, unfiltered, career-ending truth. Facts don't need fluff. I sat back in my chair, stared at the screen, and took a deep breath. It was weirdly quiet. The kind of silence that says, yep, the air just got sucked out of the room. Kira had stormed into the bathroom after her Oscar-worthy tantrum, probably to cry or scream into a towel. I didn't check. I wasn't about to be the emotional support pillow for the woman who treated our relationship like a stepping stone in her LinkedIn profile. 10 minutes later, she came out still wearing that ridiculous white robe she insisted on calling luxury. Mascara was smeared under her eyes like war paint for the deeply unserious. She looked mad, but not I screwed up mad. More like, ugh, I didn't get away with it mad. You seriously gonna act like this? She said, arms crossed like she was about to give another talk on mutual delusion. I didn't answer. I just blinked slowly like a cat on Ambien. You think you're a saint? You think you've never made a mistake? I tilted my head like a confused emoji. Cheating on someone for a raise isn't a mistake, Kira. That's not poor judgment. That's a full-blown personality flaw. She flinched. Good. But she still didn't back down. You could have talked to me first, she said, her voice climbing into that annoying self-righteous octave. We could have worked through this. I actually laughed. A short, deadpan exhale. Oh yeah? So I catch you mid-promotion through pants strategy, and I'm supposed to sit you down like a podcast therapist and process your betrayal while sipping herbal tea. She looked away. That was the first time I saw her face crack a little. Real emotion? Or just annoyed that HR might finally notice her hotel expense reports. I did it for us, she said. Quieter this time. Like if she said it softly enough, it might morph into truth. I stood up, walked past her, didn't even bother to slam the door. Just let the silence do the heavy lifting. The next day? Oh, she bounced back like it was Tuesday brunch. Put on her war paint, her overpriced blazer, heels clicking like she was strutting down the runway of delusion. She even hummed while doing her makeup. I kid you not. Hummed. Like she was mentally deleting the previous night's meltdown with every brush stroke. She figured I'd break. That I'd be like most guys, wait around after the dust settled, still holding the door open like a doormat with romantic tendencies. But no, I knew exactly what was coming. I wasn't in recovery mode. I was in reveal trailer mode. At 10:30 a.m., my burner inbox pinged. Mason's wife had replied. Thank you. This explains a lot. I've suspected something for a while, but didn't have anything concrete. You gave me exactly what I needed. That was it. Calm, measured. Like a thermostat, not a toaster. Someone who wasn't going to scream and cry, but act. And honestly, that was all it took. I smiled, not one of those smug, villain-in-a-Bond film grins. Just the quiet, low-key checkmate kind. The kind that says, I already knew the ending. I just let you read the rest. By noon, Kira was blowing up my phone like it owed her money. First, a text. Did you do something? Then another. Mason just got pulled into HR. What the hell? Did you send? Oh, sweet summer child. I didn't reply. Just turned my phone face down and finished my sandwich. Egg salad, in case you were wondering. You know what pairs well with petty justice? Mayonnaise. By 12:15, the phone was ringing. Once. Twice. Third time. I let them all ring out like I was allergic to drama. Which, clearly, I'm not. But I am immune to Kira's brand of it. At 12:30, she came home. No key turn. Just a slam. Door shook like we lived on a tectonic fault line. A piece of wall art fell sideways. Ironically, the one that said good vibes only. You sent that email, didn't you? She snapped. To his wife. What the hell is wrong with you? I didn't even pause the show. Just kept watching like I was mid-season of a slow-burn thriller. You lied to me, I said. Then I looked at her, calm as ever. What's a little honesty between strangers? She looked like she was 2 seconds from hurling a lamp. Instead, she did this frantic pacing thing, like her feet were mad at her brain and wanted to walk away from it. Hands in her hair, muttering. You have no idea what you've done. Oh, I had every idea. That's what made it fun. Mason's wife forwarded everything to HR, she groaned. They're launching an investigation. I'm screwed. I finally glanced at her. No, I said. You're exposed. That's different. She collapsed into a chair like the air had been punched out of her by karma itself. I'm going to lose my job, she whispered. I shrugged and sipped my drink like a man in no rush. Should have thought about that before turning your promotion into a pillow talk perk. That one hit her. Hard. She flinched. Not metaphorically. A real-life recoil. Small win. Gold star for me. I got up, wandered into the kitchen like I didn't just nuke her life. Grabbed a drink. Sparkling water, obviously. Refreshing. Like justice. She followed me in like a haunted Roomba. You ruined everything, she said. I turned, met her gaze, dead on. Calm. I didn't even raise my voice. You ruined everything, I said. Then I smiled, that same low-key checkmate grin. I just gave it the lighting it needed. She didn't talk after that. Just grabbed her toad, her pride, and what was left of her dignity, and left. No dramatic exit line. No slamming door. Just the quiet shame shuffle of someone who'd bet it all on being slick and rolled snake eyes. I'm guessing she went back to work, probably to HR, trying to cry her way out of a termination letter. Maybe she spun some epic fan fiction where I was the jealous psycho ex-boyfriend who hacked her emails or threatened to burn down the building with love letters. Who knows? But spoiler alert, it didn't work. Because 3 glorious, peaceful, blissfully drama-free days later, she came back. And not in a power suit. Not with her usual I'm too important to make eye contact energy. No, Kira came home in sweatpants, gray sweatpants, the sad kind. No makeup, hair tied up like she lost a bet, and eyes so puffy I thought she either cried or wrestled a cat in a wind tunnel. She stood in the doorway with a cardboard box full of death crap, picture frames, sad office plants, one of those girl boss mugs with the gold lettering faded. She looked like someone had kicked her off a game show right before the prize round. They let me go, she mumbled. I nodded. Makes sense. Mason got fired too, she added, like that was supposed to soften the blow. Oh no, I said deadpan. Not Mason. Thoughts and prayers. She sniffled. His wife filed for divorce. Wow. People out here just cleaning house, huh? HR said this violated like 6 policies, she said, as if this was a shocking twist and not the entire premise of the corporate handbook. Sounds about right. I replied, walking over to the fridge to get a soda. I cracked the can just for dramatic effect. She looked around the apartment like she didn't recognize it anymore, like she realized all at once that she was now just a visitor in the life she used to control. I don't know where I'm going to go, she said. I took a long sip. I don't either. And then, of course, she had to try one last emotional Jedi mind trick. I didn't mean for this to happen, she whispered. I just wanted more. I wanted to be better. No, Kira, I said, setting the can down. You wanted shortcuts. And you're not better. You're just loud. She looked like I slapped her with a dictionary. Sniffled again. Her signature move. I thought you loved me. I walked over and opened the door, held it wide like a gentleman. I did. Until you started loving yourself more than us. She didn't say anything after that. Just walked out with her box of dead dreams. No violin music, no scene from a Netflix breakup montage, just silence. A week later, I got a DM from Mason's wife. Total curveball. She thanked me for the evidence. Said she got full custody of the kids, kept the house, and that her lawyer was having the time of his life with the screenshots I sent. Offered to buy me a coffee if I was ever downtown. I didn't take her up on it. I told her she deserved better and that I was just glad the truth came out. Then I deleted my copy of the burner email. Didn't need it anymore. Everyone who mattered had the truth. Kira? Gone. Mason? Done. Their cozy little career-climbing fling? Toppled like a house of cards in a wind tunnel. And me? I slept better than I had in months. No fights. No lies. Just peace. And petty satisfaction. Quiet revenge. Clean, cold, and completely earned. But it didn't end there. See, it had been a week, 7 full days, since Kira got canned and Mason got escorted out of his corner office by HR like he'd just set off a sprinkler system with his stupidity. 2 suits watched the whole thing, like they were evaluating his form on a humiliation scale. I didn't see it in person, obviously, but I heard enough secondhand from a buddy of mine who works at the same company. He said the tension in the building was so thick you could chew it. No kidding. By Thursday, even the vending machine was judging people. Turns out Kira wasn't just sleeping her way into a promotion. She was also dumb enough to leave a paper trail. A paper trail. In the year of our Lord and Google Drive. Apparently, she'd been using her work laptop and email for some of it. Real genius move. Like, did she think Outlook was encrypted by divine intervention? You'd think someone plotting a career shortcut involving HR violations, corporate fraud, and Olympic-level bed hopping would at least get a burner phone. But no. This woman out here just clicking accept all cookies on every bad decision she made. Like she's trying to win a prize for worst cybersecurity practices. So yeah, Kira, out of a job. Mason, out of a marriage, a job, and their company. Triple crown. Their firm went into full-on panic PR mode. Like, DEFCON, 2-level spin. They scrubbed their website so clean you'd think the two of them never existed. It was like a corporate witness protection program. Publicly, poof, nothing happened. Internally, oh baby. Word spread faster than Wi-Fi at a Starbucks. Kira became a walking cautionary tale. HR even added a new ethics module to their onboarding. I am not making this up. It was called Maintaining Professional Boundaries and Avoiding Favoritism. You'd open the slide and bam, there she was, blurry photo from some holiday party, mid-laugh like she didn't just derail her career with a smile and poor judgment. She called me. A few times. Not to apologize. God forbid she show actual remorse. No, she wanted sympathy. Sympathy. Said I overreacted. That I could have let her down easy instead of blowing it up. Let her down easy. Right. She torched a 3-year relationship with the grace of a raccoon in a fireworks factory and expected me to hand her a glass of water afterward. Unreal. I didn't respond. Didn't block her either. I wanted her to see me not caring. Let her stew in it. Let her think every time I didn't reply, it was because I was out having a better life. Which, spoiler, I was. Mostly burritos and gaming, but still. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get more pathetic, she showed up at my door. Thursday night. I was in sweats, halfway through reheating leftover pizza, the kind where the cheese melts just enough to trick you into thinking it's fresh again. There's a knock. I open it. Boom. Kira. No makeup. Hoodie. Reusable grocery bag like she just stepped out of a Whole Foods commercial. She looked tired. Not I've been grinding 12 hours tired. More like my ego just realized I'm not untouchable tired. Hey, she said. I leaned on the door frame. Didn't even flinch. She tried to smile. Can we talk? You got 5 minutes, I said. She walked in like she still owned the place. Straight to the couch. Like it was a scene from a rerun she thought I'd enjoy watching again. I didn't sit. I just crossed my arms. And waited. Waited for whatever speech she'd clearly rehearsed on the way over. I've been doing some thinking, she started. Dangerous, I said deadpan. She ignored it. Classic move. Barrel through the sarcasm like it's not a red flag that I've been sharpening my wit specifically for this moment. I know things got messy, and maybe I didn't handle it right. I raised an eyebrow, so high I was halfway to an eye-roll yoga pose. Messy is what you call dropping a lasagna. You nuked your career and our relationship in one move. She sighed. Not the normal sigh, mind you. No, this was that long-suffering, theatrical kind, like I was the unreasonable one for not being over it already. Look, I was trying to get ahead. I wasn't trying to hurt you. Things got complicated. No, I said, things got simple. You chose success over loyalty. Mason dangled a carrot, and you chased it like a lab rat in a leadership seminar. That one landed. I saw it. A flicker in her eyes. She looked away like the floor tiles were suddenly fascinating. Then she reset, face composed, voice hopeful. I was wondering if maybe we could start over, like wipe the slate. I genuinely had to fight the urge to laugh. Like belly laugh. Big, theatrical, clap my hands, tilt my head back laugh. You lost your job, your reputation, and probably half your network. And now you want me back? Why? 'Cause I'm stable? 'Cause I didn't implode my life for a nameplate and a bonus check? She opened her mouth, probably to toss out some pre-chewed PR-grade excuse, but nothing came out. She shut it again. I could see it. That moment. That dawning horror when she realized she'd run out of spin. Every excuse, every justification, all used up. And now, all she had left was hope. Hope I'd be dumb enough to hand her a reset button. I pointed at the door. Time's up. She stood slowly, clutching her bag like it contained dignity instead of an overpriced lip gloss and 3 half-dead Altoids. You really won't even consider it. I considered it, I said. Then I remembered how fast you sold me out for a guy who uses the word energy unironically. She flinched. Direct hit. Like I'd just smacked her with a TED Talk on karma. Then she left. That was the last time I saw her in person. Over the next month, her name started popping up like an unwanted pop-up ad. A recruiter buddy of mine told me she applied to 3 firms. None of them called her back. One even had the audacity to list her as a conflict of interest in the internal notes. HR circles, it turns out, are tighter than a networking brunch at a WeWork. Mason? Oh, Mason. Word is his wife cleaned him out. Kids, house, even the golden retriever, gone. Filed for divorce the week after the email went viral. Didn't even blink. Her lawyers apparently loved me. That email? Slam dunk. The kicker? He tried to get into another firm using one of his old connections, and they ghosted him. Nobody wants to be the company that hires the guy who got fired for screwing his subordinate. Like, imagine HR trying to spin that in a board meeting. Well, yes, Mason did violate every ethical code in the manual, but he's got a real can-do attitude. Please. Both of them lit their careers on fire. And for what? One promotion, one title bump, one stupid little plan they cooked up over overpriced cocktails and bad decisions. I hope the spreadsheet was worth it, Kira. I really do. Meanwhile, I was chilling. Like actually chilling. Work was solid. I got a small raise for leading a project ahead of deadline. Nothing that'll get me on the cover of Forbes, but enough to remind me what real professional growth looks like. And I didn't have to sleep with anyone's boss to get it. Imagine that. Just boring, old-fashioned competence. My apartment felt lighter. Physically and spiritually. No more weird tension. No more fake smiles. No more her phone glued to her hand like it had secrets, which, spoiler alert, it did. Just peace. The kind of peace you don't realize you've been missing until you're lying on your couch one Sunday afternoon and you suddenly think, I haven't stress screamed internally all day. Sometimes I'd scroll Instagram and see old pics of us still floating around on mutual friends' profiles. You know the ones. Her fake smile, my real one. Dumb captions like power couple with emoji flexed biceps fire. Yeah, more like power outage, am I right? Kind of sad in a way. I mean, I looked happy. I was happy. Right up until she decided that sleeping with Mason, yes, Mason, was worth more than everything we had. And she flipped so fast, like it was a business decision. Like I was the outdated operating system she needed to uninstall. Nah, I'm good. It's funny how fast peace comes once you cut the dead weight. I didn't even notice it at first. Just little things. Like, yeah, Kira was gone. The apartment was quieter. But it wasn't just that. I stopped clenching my jaw every time my phone buzzed. Stopped side-eyeing it during dinner like it might bite me. No more bracing myself for I have to work late again tonight face-blowing a kiss text that always coincided with her wearing too much perfume and not enough shame. I was sleeping better, eating better. Hell, I even started folding laundry. Not in the drawer. Let's not get carried away, but at least I wasn't digging through the chair of wrinkled regret every morning. Progress. It had been a little over a month since she showed up with the I just want to reset monologue. I haven't heard from her since. No texts. No weird emails. Just silence. Blissful, golden silence. I still got the occasional update through the grapevine though. Friend of a friend stuff. Yo, Trent. You hear she tried moving back in with her parents? No way. Yup. They shut her down. Hard. Like, door slam, no room at the inn levels. Apparently, her parents weren't thrilled about the whole home wrecking for clout thing. Her mom told one of our mutuals that they were deeply disappointed and embarrassed to have to explain the situation to church people. Ah yes, nothing like having to explain to the prayer group that your daughter went full HR nightmare. I guess being the golden child doesn't mean much when your golden resume turns into a scandal headline. So yeah, Kira was officially on the couch tour 2025. 1 week it was her ex-co-worker's futon, The next it was her cousin's air mattress that deflated every few hours like her career. Apparently, she couldn't land a new job either. Shocker. HR people talk, and not in whispers. That email she blasted? Oh, it made the rounds like it was on a press tour. I'm pretty sure some recruiters printed it out and used it as a training example titled What Not to Do If You Enjoy Employment. She burned every bridge she thought would carry her. Turns out, setting fire to your career for the sake of a mic drop doesn't come with a fire extinguisher or a second act. Meanwhile, I was fine. Actually, better than fine. Work was chill. I got a small raise, not yacht money, but enough to feel smug when I bought name-brand cereal. My manager even gave me props in front of the team. Called me reliable, focused, and consistent. 3 words Kira never used for me unless she was describing a boring coffee order. You're like a drip coffee with oat milk, she once said. Romantic. And yeah, I started talking to someone new. Nothing serious. Just this girl I met at a cookout, Erica. She works in logistics. Not flashy, not fake. No ring light in her purse. No LinkedIn humble brags. Just chill. We hung out a few times. Grabbed coffee, did a walk in the park, even went to one of those paint and sip things, minus the sip. Just 2 sober people pretending we know how to blend acrylics. She painted a lighthouse. I painted what was supposed to be a dog, but looked like an existential crisis with ears. I didn't tell her much about Kira, just that I got out of a long-term thing and I wasn't in a rush. Erica respected that. No pressure, no where is this going. Energy. We just talked about dumb stuff. Her annoying coworker who calls every spreadsheet a data journey. My toaster that randomly shoots bread like it's in a telenovela. It felt normal. And I realized I missed normal. Not heels clacking like a final boss entrance. Not fake ambition dressed up as loyalty. Just 2 people existing in the same room without trying to sell each other a personal brand. One night, Erica and I were at this diner, eating pancakes at 9 p.m. because adulthood means you can have syrup at night and no one can stop you. We were mid-debate about whether hash browns are superior to home fries. They are, when my phone buzzed. Random number. I ignored it. Then came a text. I'm at the station. Can you please come get me? I don't have anywhere else to go. No name. Didn't need one. The ghost of bad decisions past had entered the chat. I showed Erica the message. Full transparency. She looked at it, shrugged, and said, do what you got to do. I nodded, stared at the screen for a few seconds, and replied, you made your choices. This isn't my problem anymore. Blocked the number. Pancake bite. Sip of lukewarm diner coffee. Done. Erica didn't ask questions. She just passed me the syrup. No drama. No judgment. Just calm. Exactly what I didn't know I needed in that moment. No performative sighs. No awkward silence. No are you okay? Loaded with fake concern. Just syrup. On pancakes. Like a normal, functioning adult. Revolutionary, I know. Couple days later, I heard from a mutual friend that Kira was crashing with her old roommate. You know, the one she used to complain about for not color-coding the spice rack. Apparently, she's sleeping on a beanbag now, in the living room, of a 3rd-floor walk-up, with no AC. I don't even think the beanbag belongs to her. I think it was left by the roommate's cousin who moved to Dubai. Apparently, she called her parents again, probably with that same baby voice she used when she wanted them to pay for her Bali yoga retreat. This time, though, nothing. Shut down. Cold. Her dad told her, word for word, according to the friend, clean up your mess before dragging us into it. Ouch. Brutal. But also chef's kiss. Mason? Oh, Mason. Still knee-deep in that divorce. And his wife's lawyers? I mean, if you ever want someone to excavate every dirty digital footprint you've left since MySpace, give them a call. They've got screenshots, receipts, emails, probably a couple of voicemails where he sounds like a confused Muppet. The man went from regional executive with a corner office to guy reheating soup on a hot plate in about 3 weeks. He's living in a rental studio now. I'm talking one of those places where the microwave is basically mounted above your shower. From Armani suits to ironing shirts on a countertop next to a George Foreman grill. Real fast. Did I celebrate? No. Did I throw a little karma-themed party in my head? Maybe a tiny one. With streamers. And cake. But outwardly, I didn't gloat. Didn't even smile. Honestly, I didn't feel much at all. They got what they earned. That's enough. I never sat around plotting revenge. I wasn't turning into some shadowy villain stroking a cat and muttering, soon. I just refused to let her walk away clean. She wanted to play games? Fine. But I changed the rules while she was busy reading the instructions upside down. She treated loyalty like it was a character flaw. Like, how dare I not betray you first? She mistook being decent for being weak. Joke's on her. I weaponized decency. Turned it into her blind spot. She thought I'd be soft. That I'd blow up for a few days, sulk, and then, like some rom-com doormat, forgive her as soon as she texted, you up? She thought I'd cling to her while she climbed her little corporate ladder. But the thing about ladders with rotten rungs? They collapse. And I wasn't standing under it holding a safety net. I had a lawn chair and popcorn. I don't think about Kira much anymore. Sometimes her name pops up in the group chat, usually followed by something like guess what she did now, and I scroll past it. Not out of pain, out of sheer boredom. Sometimes I hear a phrase she used to say, like circle back or let's pivot, and get that little twinge of oh yeah, that person existed. Then it fades. Fast. I'm not bitter. I'm not broken. I'm just clear. Life feels like someone finally opened a window after months of stale air. Still living in the same apartment. Still have the same job. Same grocery store. Same laundry cycle. Same 2 a.m. cereal habits. But everything feels better. Erica and I are still talking. We're not rushing. We text. Sometimes we grab coffee. Once she beat me at Scrabble and wouldn't stop gloating for 3 days. I like her. I don't know where it's going, and for the first time in forever, that doesn't stress me out. Because I'm not carrying guilt that doesn't belong to me. I'm not patching up bullet holes from someone else's gun. I'm not dragging around a suitcase of someone else's bad choices. Kira made her bed. Only difference is, no one's offering her a pillow. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.